Hello peeps, Hillbilly Halfwit. Just thought I'd put another video up after that funny one earlier. I was just something come into my mind about propaganda, how you recognise propaganda. And just been putting some straw down in the shed here to keep these sheep nice and clean. I was watching Jeremy Vile the other morning when I was having a bit of breakfast, and he had three of his guests on. So three guests and him all talking about propaganda, really, but they didn't say the word. So they were talking about a lady who used to be on Coronation Street, and my mother used to be mad on watching Coronation Street, and because there was only a few channels back then. But what Vile was saying, all three of them, four including him, were talking like the 1984 novel. So they were saying all soaps should be pushing a futuristic, progressive message, even if the people don't want it. So that, if they said it in a nutshell, what is going on. All of the mainstream media channels, all these shows are pushing propaganda towards you and me to try and brainwash your children. That is what is going on. If you go onto YouTube now, which shouldn't really be propaganda, but it is a lot of it, you'll see bits on there for kids. So you'll be scrolling through all your advertisements, so all your videos, and there'll be a piece in the middle go kids games. You watch, have a look yourself. They're all multicoloured BLTs, bacon, lettuce and tomatoes. Remember, I can't say the real word. They're bacon, lettuce and tomato coloured because they're trying to encourage gender modification. You have a look, all your kids see are BLT colours. It's crazy. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Every soap has got it in. If you don't agree with a narrative, you're a bad person. If you don't agree with the bacon, lettuce and tomato people, you're a right-wing bad person. Even when, if you look into it, pretty much 90% of everybody who's had these gender modifications wish they'd never done it, and for the rest of their lives they're having medical problems. Because it's not an easy operation, is it? So any young girl or boy who wants to be a different gender these days is literally being injected with chemical castration drugs, but they won't give them to the people who are messing with children. See, once you see it all, you can't unsee it. You just got to open your eyes and see it. All the news is the same. They want you to believe all this stuff that they all make up. And you have to remember, lots of the people have been to university now. There's nothing against them. All they've had is this constant, your parents are bad people because they believe in something. That's what's happening. And they want to scare them completely, all the time, scared of the earth. They want to make you scared to go anywhere, scared to eat this, scared to this. If you're going to do something wrong, oh my God. Sorry, you got my little lamb here. Tank. If you want to do something, they want to scare them all. Now, us lot who are a bit older, Generation X or whatever, and some of the other ones, the older ones, won't have that. If somebody tells me not to go on somewhere, I will say, who the hell are you to tell me I can't go there? That's what the UK used to be. We're a very welcoming country. Why do you think everybody wants to fucking come here? Because we're a very welcoming country. We look after people. And we're being taken advantage of by basically a large amount of a military amount. Let's get it straight. There is more people came into the UK last year than we've got an army. Let that sink in. The whole of the UK army wouldn't fit into one football stadium. And there's more of that come in last year Most of them criminals. Think about it. It's a mad world. Now, if you think about it, what's happening in the UK is, if you really think about it, if you're a person who goes on to further education, you want to learn something perhaps, you're basically learning a lot of nonsense and making yourself think that you're very brainy when you're not. They want to make you dumb. So then you have to pay your own grant. So from the next 20 or 30 years, you're paying 10% of your wages to the government, where the people who left school years ago, they're just getting on with life. And then once you reach a certain level in life, when you say you get a decent job, they tax you more then. So that's for everybody. So they only want you to earn a certain amount of money. You're only allowed to have a certain amount of money. You can't be left any money by anybody because they don't want the serfs, the plebs, having more money than they should have. So they take that off you in inheritance tax. So once you get to a certain level and maybe you want to earn a little bit more to make yourself better, then they put you in another higher tax grade then. So they bring you back down to where you were before. And I know this because a mate of mine was working on the timber and he wanted to build his house. And he worked extra hard for 1 year to pay for all his house. And they put him into another tax bracket and he earned £4,000 extra for doing nearly double the work. So when you see it, like when you're a student, you're in university and you're having all these student loans, sometimes up to 80,000, isn't it? To learn some nonsense subject. When you go outside, there's no jobs for them things. So you end up just waiting on tables, doing a mundane, crappy job, and where you're still paying 10% out of your wages plus your income tax. Now, the civil service takes a certain amount of these people into it to do their non-jobs, and you'll only be selected if you're one of the certain family of the you know what I mean. So this is how the UK works. Most of us that have recognised this, I've seen this for a long time, but lots of people still don't realise there's a certain level you're allowed to earn, and if you get above or you're below, if you're below, they'll give you it. If you're above, they bring you back down to it. If you've got a bit of nous about you and you start your own business and employ people, and that's the way out of poverty, is at work, in my opinion, because I've been in poverty when I was younger. The only thing that got me out of poverty was a good job. Instead of scavenging off people, you had a good wage and you could pay your own way. That's what got me out of poverty. But people, they're trying to make people afraid of work. And like I tell you in my funny videos, most of the work I had, I made lifelong friends and it was fun. And you had some readies from it as well. And if you don't like a job, move on. You know, wake up to it, people. Wake up to it. Now, as I tell you a lot of the time, I'm one of these people who's quite happy with life. I don't want more money. I'm a glass half full person. I like my life. I've worked very hard in my early life to help buy this little farm. I love the place. I don't want anything else. I don't want to be running around with huge wads of cash. That's not me. I'm happy with just earning my bare minimum and getting up every day, and that's how I look at things. Lots of others don't. I totally understand because they've got families. And I have friends who work their gutses out and just to keep their families and their heads above water. Just normal folk, no, not farmers. And who has it? The government. They just want their dirty little grubby hands on it. And when their kids go to university, they want to brainwash them that their parents are bad people for wanting to look after the people in their own country. So, I've got to say, I'm lucky enough at the moment, as long as I've got this channel, that for somehow, it's all happened by accident that I've got this channel where I can speak my mind and people do tend to listen to it. Of course you don't all agree, but that's life. You can't agree with everybody. I quite enjoy my little channel for being able to do this, and we put some things out there, some things that aren't nice. I put that video up last night about that a pilot But people need to know about them sick bastards, because they're being hidden in society like these other rape gangs. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that word, I'll be off. But we need to highlight this lot. That's why these things don't happen. If they're not under oath, they don't get a proper hearing, do they? So that's another video for today. I just felt like having a chat, really, with everybody. So please subscribe. Don't cost you anything. And you might learn something, or I might, because I all go through all your comments and I try to answer every single one if I can, unless the video goes off too fast and I can't keep up with it all. Okay? Ta-da.